Hi, welcome to Dr. Colbert's podcast. I'm Mary Colbert.
And I'm Dr. Colbert. Hello.
And today, Don, we're going to continue this talk because this is a major issue and concern for men who are suffering from ED, and this is a major issue. It's so major that he wanted to go and do another podcast about this one topic. It affects your health in more ways than you can even begin to imagine. And it is...
Well, Mary, we're calling this disease-causing fats and healing fats. Fats, so many people have fat phobia, Mary, but there are disease-causing fats, mainly your trans fats or hydrogenated fats, and your superheated polyunsaturated fats. You know, the fried foods you love, the French fries, the chicken nuggets, the fried chicken and the hush puppies and all the fried foods you eat.
I wish we could get the restaurants and places like that to just start using all good oils, but they use all bad oils.
They're using oils that literally cause disease. These are fats that cause disease.
This is so upsetting to me. It's because I see these little kids and families, going in and getting their French fries and
potato chips, Mary.
Potato
chips. Wait until you hear this information. But we have kind of separated this out so people can literally choose healing fats. And if you do get fried foods, or like chips, or if you do get French fries, I make my own fries in an air fryer, and I use avocado.
I make your French fries.
Yes, but I instructed you how. I instruct you how. But let's talk about the good and the bad fats, okay? It's the good, the bad, and the ugly, and trans fats are definitely the ugliest of all fats. They're the most atherogenic. They cause plaque in your arteries, poor blood flow, ED, guys. If you want ED, French fries, and trans fats. You're asking for it. Okay, but let's start with I guess, the ugly. You want to start with the ugly, which are the trans fats?
Yeah, let's knock them out.
Well, let's start. And again, I talked about this approximately 20 years ago when I wrote my book, The 7 Pillars of Health. And so this isn't from my book, The 7 Pillars. In 1902, the process of hydrogenation was patented by a German scientist. And during the hydrogenation process, the cheapest oils, such as soybean oil, corn oil, cottonseed oil, and canola oil, are mixed with a metal catalyst, usually nickel. The oil is then subjected to hydrogen gas in a high-pressure, high-temperature reactor, which forces hydrogen through it until it's saturated. Then emulsifiers are added, and the oil is deodorized at a high temperature and steam cleaned. Margarine is an example of a product containing hydrogenated oils. And adding hydrogen atoms to liquid fats and oils makes these oils stay in solid form at a room temperature. Just think of Crisco oil. It's solid white oil. Okay, this means that they're much less likely to become rancid and their shelf life is prolonged. The perfect food, the perfect fat for a lot of these processed food manufacturers, that's what they want. They want a long shelf life and crispy, nice chips, okay? The process alters the chemical structure of the fat to an unnatural trans fatty acid, which becomes an enemy of the heart by raising the LDL or bad cholesterol and lowering the HDL or good cholesterol. Trans fats are called hydrogenated fats and are present in margarine, shortening, and most commercial peanut butters, but they're in so much more. Trans fats or hydrogenated fats are found in cakes and cookies and pies. They're found in shortening, just think of Crisco. Microwave popcorn is full of these trans fats. Frozen pizza contains it, as well as any kind of refrigerated dough like biscuits and rolls and croissants. Also fried foods, including French fries and donuts and fried chicken, non-dairy creamer, and stick margarines. Now, what has happened is...
Margarines, not butter. I
not
think
butter,
that's important.
Correct.
Yeah.
Trans fats increase the bad LDL cholesterol, decrease the HDL, increase the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Now, in the U.S., if a food contains less than 0.5 grams of trans fats per serving, the food label can read 0 grams of trans fats. Products made before the FDA ban of trans fats might still be for sale, so you got to check the list. If it does contain trans fat, that means the food contains trans fats, even if the amount's below 0.5 grams. If it says partially hydrogenated vegetable oil, that contains trans fats, even if it says 0 grams on the label.
Let me ask you something, Don. I may throw you a curveball here. You may know it, you may not. When did they shift and start using all these bad fats? What was the shift? When was that? Was that the McDonald's when they first started coming out with the French fries and the hamburgers?
Well,
Back
again,
in the 60s?
again, I believe it was the 70s or the 80s. They started giving butter a bad name and shifted over to the margarines. I think it was the 70s, actually.
Okay.
But
so before that, we had a pretty healthy diet of fat.
Right, butter. And butter is much better than these hydrogenated fats. These fats are deadly, and they also increase the risk of Alzheimer's disease.
So the oils that people were cooking with before...
Well, it's mainly butter and...
olive oil?
No, they weren't using olive oil.
Well,
They're using bacon grease. But bacon grease is healthier than these trans fats. These trans fats are the worst of the worst. They're the ugliest of the fats. It's the most dangerous of the fats.
Oh, wow.
Now, these hidden trans fats can add up very quickly, even if it says less than 0.5 grams a serving, because eating several servings of different foods containing less than 0.5 grams a serving adds up really quick. So if you're eating these foods, like if you're a brownie lover, or if you love French fries or donuts, you don't eat just one donut. You eat all 6 or all 12. Or non-dairy creamers. You're pouring 2 or 3 creamers in your coffee. You're getting trans fats. Or you're a biscuit lover. Biscuits contain, remember that refrigerated dough has trans fats in it. Even if it says 0, if it has less than 0.5 and you eat multiple servings, you're getting a whopping dose. Rolls contain trans fats. Frozen pizza has it. Microwave popcorn. Baked goods, cakes, cookies, brownies, pies, that has
everything that is the American diet.
Everything you love has these deadly fats in it. And these fats are causing plaque in your arteries, plaque in your brain,
because your body doesn't know what to do with it. It can't digest it.
Your brain is becoming partially partially hydrogenated. Your arteries are that causes tremendous inflammation in the body. Now, let's talk about the potato chip companies. There's potato chips manufacturers. They fry their chips mainly in cottonseed oil. Now, let's shift over to polyunsaturated fats, because these fats are almost as bad as the trans fats. Polyunsaturated fats are fats that people think are good. They include corn oil, soybean oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil. And these fats are sesame seed oil.
They think vegetable oil means, it's good because it comes from vegetables.
But when you heat these fats, they become rancid faster and they oxidize. So when these fats are used in deep frying, oxidation occurs much faster because they're polyunsaturated. Oxidation can also occur then in your arteries as free radicals attack the polyunsaturated fats, which are carried in the LDL cholesterol. It causes our cholesterol to become oxidized, making the cholesterol more atherogenic or plaque-forming.
Now, oxidize is just a nice word for rust.
Like rusting, similar to rusting. Yeah, when iron rusts, it's oxidizing. You're right.
So that's what you're doing. You're rusting out. You're rusting on the inside.
But these deep-fried foods, fried in polyunsaturated fats, are almost as bad as trans fats because they form plaque in the arteries. They are horrible for us, and we are addicted to fried foods. Now, we want to talk about some of the fried foods that fast food companies, but we know potato chips are mainly fried in cottonseed oil because it has a good flavor that imparts to the potato chip, is cottonseed oil. Now, cottonseed oil comes from the cotton plant. And again, it comes from the seeds of the cotton plant. So that's where most potato chips are fried in. So, and they're low in saturated fat, but they're high in polyunsaturated fat, and they cause tremendous inflammation in our bodies and in our arteries. A lot of your arthritis in your hands, feet, knees, back are due to your deep-fried potato chips. Now, you say, what about corn chips? Well, corn chips are also, inflammatory because they're usually fried in corn oil or cottonseed oil or soybean oil, canola oil or peanut oil. But the key is corn chips are not as bad because they're usually baked before they're fried, so they absorb less oil. So if you have a choice between corn chips or potato chips, usually the corn chips aren't as bad, but the only kicker is most corn chips are genetically modified, which are inflammatory. These are highly addictive inflammatory foods. Now you say, well, what about canola oil? I use canola oil. That's a monounsaturated fat. Canola oil is refined, it's bleached, it's deodorized, so it has a solvent extracted called hexane that's used to extract the oil from the seeds. And hexane comes from petroleum or crude oil and has a gasoline-like odor. And again, most canola oil is genetically modified and is highly inflammatory. You say, well, what about peanut oil? Peanut oil is good for me, right? It's high in monounsaturated fats. Well, yes, it does have monounsaturated fats. It has 6.2 grams of monounsaturated fats, but it also has almost as many polyunsaturated fats, 4.3 grams of polyunsaturated fats. When you superheat polyunsaturated fats, you create tremendous oxidation, tremendous inflammation. Whenever you have oxidation, you have inflammation. Well, what about olive oil? Olive oil is great. It's my favorite. Olive oil and avocado oil.
But you can't cook with it on a deep fry it. You can't do that.
Exactly right. Yeah, because it has a low smoke point of 320. If you're going deep fry, you need to use avocado oil, which has a smoke point of 570 degrees. So again, these inflammatory fats are real simple. Trans fats, superheated polyunsaturated fats, and like we talked about the cottonseed oil, the corn oil, the soybean oil, the sunflower oil, the safflower oil.
The vegetable oil.
The vegetable oils. Those are, and that's what, again, the restaurants use. Now, KFC uses canola and hydrogenated soybean oil to fry their chicken. That's what they use. Five Guys Pizza or Five Guys Hamburgers uses peanut oil. Remember, it contains quite a bit of polyunsaturated fats that oxidize. Burger King uses to fry their French fries corn oil, canola oil, cottonseed oil, and soybean oil, all highly polyunsaturated.
You get
highly
the
inflammatory.
quadruple doses.
Checkers, partially hydrogenated, that's trans fat soybean oil. That's what Checkers uses. Chick-fil-A uses peanut oil. Again, peanut oil may be a little better, but it still has oxidized fats in it because about almost half, or about 40% of peanut oil is polyunsaturated fats. McDonald's uses corn oil, canola oil, soybean oil, and hydrogenated soybean oil, which again has the hydrogenated fats. That's why their French fries are fried in. Wendy's has pure corn oil that they fry their fries in, and a mixture of soybean oil and corn oil for their chicken nuggets. These are all inflammatory foods. You're asking for inflammation, poor blood flow, brain problems, memory problems, plaque problems in your arteries, and arthritis in your joints.
If by chance these corporations listen to you, Don,
use avocado oil.
They could switch over to avocado oil, cooking all of this stuff.
But it's more expensive.
This
other oil's cheap.
It tastes as good, right?
I think it does. That's what I do. I use an air fryer, Mary. Well, you use an air fryer. I got us air fryers in every home.
Yeah.
And I love it. When I'm watching football, I will get a baked potato and I'll have a little slicer, slice it.
No, I understand that.
And then I put it in my air fryer with avocado oil and salt and garlic.
I want to help these guys, solve the problem because they're having to cook for millions of people, not one person. So they're having to cook for millions of people and they have to do it fast and do it quick to get food to people as they're going through the drive-through. But so what I'm saying is if avocado oil was used in place, is that the only oil that you would recommend in place so that these massive franchises could switch over? That would be a better choice.
Well,
what
again,
would it be?
That I would personally love avocado oil or almond oil. It has a high smoke point of 420 degrees. Or macadamia oil has a smoke point of 390 degrees.
So maybe they could blend these oils like they blend the others. And it might give
It'd be better. But the best would be avocado oil. It's got the highest smoke point of 570 degrees.
So let's just pray this will get out and they will.
I would be willing to pay more for healthy French fries cooked in avocado oil rather than these cooked in soybean oil, canola oil, corn oil. Well, it's going to hurt your brains and your arteries and cause inflammation. But you know what? These foods smell so good. They taste so good.
But they smell as good and taste as good?
Absolutely they can. Now let me explain. Hold on. There are some good polyunsaturated fats, guys. Let's talk about them.
Okay.
Good ones include nuts, pecans, almonds, cashews, macadamia nuts, pistachios, pine nuts, hazelnuts. These are good and healthy polyunsaturated fats. Also, good polyunsaturated fats include fish oil, fatty fish, which are the omega-3 fats. Those are really good fats. Now, too many saturated fats can also cause problems, and saturated fats are found in especially your butter, your cream, cheese, whipped cream, ice cream, cream cheese, sour cream, fatty meats such as bacon, sausage, hamburger meat, your pepperoni, salami, all of those processed meats, as well as it's found in ghee, or it's found in whipped cream, it's found in palm oil, MCT oil, and palm kernel oil. And these all, if you eat too much, it'll raise cholesterol. You want to limit your saturated fats to 7 to 10% of your total fat calories, and don't overdo it. Don't go over 10%. Now, I'll use a little MCT oil in my coffee in the morning, and I'll use like a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon. That's it. It turns my brain on. It doesn't raise my cholesterol if I stick to that amount. But the most important fats and the best for your heart and your brain and to lower cholesterol are your monounsaturated fats. That's the olive oil. That's your avocado oil. That's your seeds and your nuts, your nut oils, your nut butters. Canola oil is high in monounsaturated fats, but it's genetically modified and it's inflammatory, so I do not like canola oil. So again, these are the fats that heal, the fats that kill. And again, we've kind of outlined where you find your fats. We've told you about potato chips, and if you do get potato chips, again, I recommend potato chips that are fried in avocado oil. Corn chips are better, but again, they're usually fried in those polyunsaturated fats. So I try and avoid these. And if you avoid them, you're doing much better. There's more information I have. I talk about this in detail in my book, Beyond Keto, which I wrote this year. And this book goes in detail talking about the fats. Also, if you're interested in the hydrogenated process, I talk about that in detail in my 7 Pillars of Health book. So again, there's fats that heal, there's fats that kill. The fats that kill, number one, your trans or your hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated fats. The fats that also kill are your heated polyunsaturated fats, your soybean oil, corn oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil that are heated, even grapeseed oil. Now, a little grapeseed oil is good, but never cook with it or heat it up. If you heat grapeseed oil, you make a healthier fat, a very inflammatory fat. Okay, so also fats that can also cause problems are excessive saturated fats. We've talked about those: buttercream, cheese, ghee, sour cream, ice cream, MCT oil, coconut oil, palm kernel oil, palm oil, and your fatty meats. Those are your main ones. Okay, so you need to limit those to 7 to 10% of your fat intake should or less should be your saturated fats. And then the most important, the healthiest fats are your omega-3 fats or your fish oil, and your monounsaturated fats, your olive oil, avocado oil, your seeds and nuts. It's real simple. But the hardest thing to do, and this is the hardest thing my patients do, is get away from the trans fats, which they falsely believe when the product has 0 trans fats, it doesn't have it. That's a lie, and that is what so many people are being deceived, because when you're eating that brownie or that cookie or that donut or those other foods that are high in trans fats, and again, let me list them for you again: cakes, cookies, brownies, pies, microwave popcorn, frozen pizzas, your biscuits, rolls, French fries, donuts, fried chicken, coffee creamers, stick margarine. You are getting trans fat, the most dangerous fats known to man. Cut them out. Choose living fats, olive oil, and especially your Hermes high polyphenol olive oil. I love that. I don't cook with it, but I put it on most of my food. And literally, it helps decrease inflammation throughout your body. It protects your brain, protects your arteries, protects your heart, and protects you literally and fills you up and gives you the tremendous protection you need.
That's awesome. Good information. I hope this helped you We've got a lot more information on our website, drcolbert.com, divinehealth.com. Go in, take a look at our products and our different podcasts that we have done. We've done well over 50. We're trying to cover all the major topics and things that, affect America's health and people around the world, not just in America, but all over the world. So, please go in and share with your friends. But when you do this, you're a partner with Divine Health. You're becoming a partner with us in spreading the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ, because it's His desire. He says, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. That's what the will of God is that you walk in good health. And that's what we're bringing to you.
Well, also now, if you have a topic that you really want to learn more information about, contact us, and they would contact Andrea. Is that right, Mary?
Well, they'd probably best to call one of the offices, Sharon or Linda, or one of our offices in either Texas or Florida, and just tell them, say, hey, next podcast, see if he can do this, and we're listening, and we'll be happy to take a look at it and see if it's something we can do.
But for your health, choose
Amen.
Fats that heal and not fats that kill.
Oh, that's good, Don. And may you walk in divine health. God bless you. Till
God
next
bless
time.
you. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.